Many sociologists are calling child prostitution America's dirty little secret. The U.S. Department of Justice has called it a growing and increasing epidemic. And it's worse than we think. The reports are that there may be many, many more children on the streets that are child prostitutes. And you're talking sometimes kids as young as 11 years old. But where do these child prostitutes come from? Most of them come from poverty-stricken, dysfunctional homes. Many of them are abused sexually as children by either parents, siblings, grandparents, or other people that come in and out of the home, which highlights really the total breakdown of the American family. What happens in many of these situations, kids just run away, or some are called throwaways. And they end up on the streets as a way to live, a way to subsist. And it's been termed survival sex. Child prostitution rings are run primarily by what people call pimps, despicable people who feed off of children. And what they do, they often get children hooked on drugs. They promise them money for sex with adult males. And then they take the money away, or they strip kids of money, and they keep them totally dependent. Many of them are beaten and treated worse than animals, and basically caged in a society of child prostitution. What pimps become with the other child prostitutes and the adult prostitutes is a substitute family. So one of the key problems we face with child prostitution is not so much that human beings may be decrepit, and I hear this from religious types. It's that, again, it's the family is broken down, and you have people reaching out to substitute families looking for love, looking for a lifestyle. And what they're finding is it's a very violent world, a world where they're mistreated and used in what can only be termed total debauchery. One of the major problems we're facing with child prostitution now is with websites such as MySpace and Facebook. What these websites have done is it's made it easier for people into pedophilia and pimps to recruit kids. Atlanta is a city that has a huge problem with child prostitution. And the mayor there, Shirley Franklin, has said it's websites that are one of the major problems they face in terms of recruiting these kids to place them out on the streets. Are there solutions? Well, obviously, we need to ferret out the criminals here. We're seeing our kids destroyed. Prosecutors, the federal government, agents need to ferret out these predators, find out where they're at, and no leniency should be the rule. Stiff penalties. These people shouldn't be given fines. They should be put in jail. If they can't be rehabilitated, they should be kept in jail. But I don't think government is the solution here. We can get tough on criminals, but there's always going to be the problem of child prostitution until we do something about family and poverty. There's a church on every corner in the United States. If churches would just get involved in the inner city, if churches would focus on this issue, we could probably almost do away with child prostitution. Counseling with families, finding out where these kids belong, going to their families, getting kids in counseling centers, getting them off the streets. Why should they have to go to a pimp to get money, to get food? Shouldn't the local church be providing that? Shouldn't the Jewish synagogues be providing that? So the religious community, in my opinion, and private nonprofit organizations, and there are a number of good organizations trying to fight this, but they're not enough. But there are so many religious institutions in this country, they could make a world of difference. So until, in my opinion, until the religious institutions get involved and the federal government and the state governments get tough on these crooks, these pimps, these predators, this problem is going to continue to spread.